So we are at the AMR Medical Center right here on First Street, St. Paul, and this is where the suspect earlier at the Temple of Justice was brought. We just brought here at the AMI hospital to be given medical attention. It appears during the arrest, according to the police have brought the suspect here at the AMI hospital. And this is the hospital right here. We do not know if the suspect is actually ill, as it appears in the video, but we saw him lying to the floor, and the sheriffs had a writ to offer him, to hand him, but they could not hand him the writ, and the writ was for other charges that he's supposed to have been taken to criminal court B, to be sent over to criminal court B after the court signed and agreed for his guarantors to take him to hospital for medical treatment, but that was resisted, and they brought another writ of arrest upon him, which he refused to accept, fell to the floor, and he was brought here at the MI hospital for where we believe he was brought to be given medical treatment. So we're still here. This is the MI hospital. As you can see, these are the police officers. Police officers are also on standby who brought the suspect at the MI hospital for medical treatment. Where's Fabi? I've said everything. Folks, I know the wrong part is up there. And I'm going inside. Wait, see, folks. People go out. The people say we shouldn't go there, chief.
No, I'm going to call her.
I said, let me go.
Bring the camera back when you come then you ask her.
Take him out to yes, I had to go take him home, Mr. Flo.
Yeah, but you ask him for permission, say, Fabi, the kids, go get her.
Folks, if you are watching, we are here at the AMI hospital. We are not being given access to enter. In fact, even if we do, we will not be given access to show you the suspect. But you saw him earlier when we were at Temple of Justice. So I wanted to see if we could talk to my colleague. Her name is Fabi Kuya. She's the one assigned at Temple of Justice. She's really abreast with issues like this. So I was hoping if we could talk to her to bring us up to speed about some of the happenings regarding this particular issue involving the suspect who is said to have been involved in the courts, the Temple of, that's the Capitol Building Saga currently. So I want to join the conversation with my Fabi Kuya. So we'll have a conversation. So Fabi, we don't necessarily have to be on camera. We will just get here and have a conversation. So currently we are here at the AMI hospital. So my colleague Fabi Kuya is here. We are here at the AMI hospital where the suspect was brought. Earlier at the courts, maybe we can talk about some of the proceedings, or the hearings that took place at the courts before we arrived here at the AMI hospital.
Well, at the hearing, Judge Kobo Inuta said they don't have authority over the torture that the suspect alleged. And then he also ruled that there must be guarantor for him so that he can be released. And furthermore, he said he needed to be taken to health facility, or credible health facility, to determine as to whether he was tortured. And then there are government lawyers who represented in the case was the county attorney that took exception to the judge's ruling on that and say they will use the law controlling. But again, after that, we waited to have seen court officers handing the rate over to the suspect, but that took hours at the court, Anthony. It took hours before he handed over the rate. And my thinking is that while in court, he didn't actually show any sign of being feeble or being sick, but just as he knew a rate was up for him from the Monrovia City Court while coming down the basement of Temple of Justice, there where he said he fainted.
Yes, because I was in the court. I saw him when he sat in the court. I saw him when he walked through the hallway. He had his hands in the pocket. He walked through the hallway. We took pictures of him. He didn't hesitate. He wasn't hesitant. He walked along with the sheriffs and all of that. But I don't know how things just changed suddenly once we got outside.
You know, sometimes defendants or suspects in these matters always use delay tactics. And that was what we exhibited today at the court from this team of lawyers. Because you and I were there and it took hours before we could get the rate over to suspect Thomas Etheridge. And so that was another way of delaying tactics, or being delaying tactics, so that probably he wouldn't have been arrested. However, you saw on the scene that court officers actually had a court precept, which is the rate. And all he needed to do was just to accept that rate, and maybe the next action would have been straight at the Monrovia Central Precinct that we call Salt Beach. But sometimes they have been advised by the lawyer to carry on such acts. So presently we are here, and I'm sure to where we are at AMI Hospital, probably if what the judge said, they're going to determine as to whether he was fractured or not, or based on his action that he showed that he fainted. So we got to see and know the results from here.
All right, folks, so we're still here. I'm still talking to my colleague Fabian Kuya, involving the case, involving a suspect that's under police custody, involving the Capitol Building fire incident. So earlier we were at the court where the suspect supposed to have been handed a writ to head for another court, but he suddenly fell to the floor and appeared to be weary and not feeling okay. So he was brought here at the AMI hospital. As you can see, AMI is right here on 4th Street here in Cinco. So Fabian, now that the suspect has been brought to the hospital, once it's determined, let's not even assume it's determined that he is not okay, he's ill and all of that. What's going to happen onwards? What's going to happen from here?
The law is that he just has to accept that rate. Because at criminal code B, there was a writ of habeas corpus filed by his lawyers, but at the level of the city court, if the writ was given to him, would mean the charges on that precept. But indeed, he didn't receive the rate, and actually showed that he fainted in our Liberian language, and so we don't know what is being rated on that particular rate from city court, his charges. But whatever the case is, Anthony, it's a matter of must that he received that precept, the rate.
So definitely he will be served.
He will be served that rate. There's no if and but about it.
But earlier we saw some of the sheriffs who were taking him were resisting for the rate to be issued to him. How is it happening that way?
Well, actually, they were supposed to give it at a point in time. Besides the sheriff, according to what you saw, later on, police officers came around. So the sheriffs of the city court was there to execute the function, that is to deliver the precept. And so, by all means necessary, they tried, but based on his condition, the police had to let him out because of his condition, as I said earlier. So, come what may be or come what it may, no matter what happens, how long it takes, you just have to receive that precept. And so, from there, then we're going to see his charges and know what he's been charged for.
So in this case, in both cases, if it's established that he's not okay medically, he's going to stay the time, get his treatment, and then the case kicks off from there.
That's how it's supposed to be. They assigned court officers or officers with him to whatever hospital.
Well, how worse will it get if the hospital does a checkup on him and finds out that he's probably pretending to be ill?
Well, in the judge's ruling today, it was what he mentioned that if he's taken to any hospital to determine as to whether he was structured, they need a report on or before January 16.
Okay.
Yes, that was the order in the court. But today during his ruling, so the judge said on or before January 16, that report should be at the court because they don't have the authority to determine his physical appearance as to whether he was structured or not, has been alleged by the suspect. So a time was attached to it, and so maybe whatever hospital he is, whatever report emanating from that should be given to the judge on or before January 16th.
All right, so folks, I think you are hearing from our colleague Fabian Kuya. She's well acknowledged in judicial matters. So you heard her analysis, and obviously, law, they say, is reasoning. So it makes sense that if it's established that he is ill, he will get his treatment, and then the case continues. Else, if it's determined, the lawyers or the judge wants to report his medical report before his death, before January 16. So that's the deadline. So we're here at AMI, and AMI is right here on 4th Street, and we will be here we just want to show you where he has been brought for medical checkup. The police said they brought him here, and I heard directly from the police officers that they will undertake his medical bill here at AMI. They'll put the bills on the police. So we cannot establish whether his checkup will be done right away and the results will be delivered right away. It might take some time. We cannot determine that. So we just wanted to show you where he has been brought, and this is where the action is taking place. As you can see, the police is here, and I mean, folks, wherever you're watching, stick and stay with us. And currently we cannot locate, we wish we could have with us here the police spokesperson. That's police spokesperson Madam Cecilia Clark, but she's nowhere around here, obviously. So I mean, we can keep emphasizing or overemphasize what is transpiring today, but if you've been following, is a suspect alleged to be involved in the fire incident at the Capitol Building. Was taken to criminal court B today, and his lawyers filed in petition for him to be to seek medical treatment, and the judge granted that, I guess, and he also asked that they could present 2 guarantors, and those guarantors would take him for medical treatment. And of course, upon that, also another writ was given for him to be taken to criminal court A, I guess, but he resisted to accept the writ. In fact, he fell to the floor and appeared to have been unconscious or appeared to have been feeling ill. So he was brought here at AMI Hospital where we stay at, and folks, we just wanted to bring you the location where he was brought. We have not been given any information from within the hospital, and there's no one here to talk to, like police spokesperson or anyone from the course like that, except that we were able to speak to our colleague Fabian Kuya, who has brought us up to speed. She is assigned at the Capitol, so she understands the proceedings there. So, I mean, you heard it from her. The judge has made it clear in the court he wants the medical report of the suspect to be submitted before his desk by January 16 or before January 16. So here you have it. We still have the police presence here at the location. So you can see, we still have police presence here at the location. And also it's said that the police will be here until the police presence will be here until the suspect can be released from the hospital. That is, if the hospital will identify any form of illness to be a reason for him to be kept here for treatment. And of course, if that is established, then it means the police will continuously be here to provide security, because he is a suspect, a suspect in a case involving the fire incident at Capitol Building. Don't forget, this fire incident at Capitol Building is a very delicate issue, and the police is treating him as a suspect. So wherever you're watching us from, we'd like to say thanks for watching. Of course, he's getting police protection. Of course, as you can see in the compound here, currently there are 2 police vehicles. There were 3, but one of them left already and returned to the police headquarters. So there is huge police presence, folks. For those of you watching, if you look right here, right at the entrance, police right here, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. There are another 2 officers who are standing right here at the gate. 3, there's another one there. There's another officer right here. If you look through the gate, there are several of them there. Some are sitting in the vehicle. And so of course, I mean, we'll upload the video. We'll upload the video shortly. The video of the suspect walking in the hallway. We'll upload it shortly. Because the thing here is, we cannot say that he wasn't ill or not, but what we noticed is when the suspect was walking from the courts in the hallway, he was very active, walking very active. He wasn't being coerced or being held by security. The sheriffs walked with him side by side, and he walked out of the court. He even got down a very steep and long stairs in at the courts. He got down those stairs on his own by himself. He wasn't held. So coming down in the lobby, and then getting a new being served in the lobby, and then he suddenly fell to the floor and claimed he wasn't feeling okay. So there was a tussle at the courts. The police, the sheriffs were tussling as to whether the suspect should be taken to the criminal court or be handed over to his guarantors. But that didn't work out. He claimed to have been ill, so he fell to the floor and he was brought here at AMI Hospital. We cannot verify if he's ill or not. We don't have any evidence to that, but he fell to the floor and appeared to be ill. So he was brought here at the hospital to seek medical attention. We are still here. For those of you who will be joining us, we will be bringing you up to speed as we move on. Yeah, but the man well, the man ill. Because the thing we can establish is that even if it's established that he's ill, he will have to stay and take his treatment. But you and I, we do not know what kind of illness will be diagnosed to determine how long he will stay here. I think it's based on the severity of what will be identified that will determine how long he stays here, in my mind. So, I mean, for me, I just want to show our audience who are watching where he has been brought, you know, and what is expected.
And it's important as well. But someone got some of the information that recently he was well in his body, walking through the city court with some sheriff.
Yes.
And all of a sudden he fell outside of the court.
Just today I was in the courts when his lawyers filed a petition for him to be granted, you know, to be given medical attention because his lawyers claim their client, which is the suspect, was tortured. He claimed he was tortured, and so the lawyers went to the court and requesting for him to seek medical attention. So the judge granted that, but based on the fact that they will present 2 guarantors to, you know, almost like collateral security or something like that. And so, but there was also a writ awaiting for him, you know, a writ awaiting him to be served, given him. So once he got out, because we walked from the court, we got down a very long stairs, you know, the stairs within the court. We got down the stairs, he walked alone. We got down the stairs, and once he noticed, or I can't claim that he noticed, but once it was time for the writ to be given him, the sheriff started this, you know, argument over whether he should receive the writ or not. He refused the writ.
He refused. The suspect, Thomas Idris, refused the writ.
Of course, because in my mind, Theo, the way I see it in my mind, in the first place, the suspect had his 2 hands in his jacket.
Thomas Idris had his 2 hands in his jacket.
Thomas Idris had his 2 hands in his jacket at the Temple, you know, of Justice there, right outside when he came outside.
City court, around the city court area.
Around the city court area. He had his 2 hands in his pocket, in his jacket pocket. So, presenting the writ to him, he refused to remove his hands from his jacket.
The sheriff was presenting the
Yes, the sheriff was he refused to remove his hands from his jacket. Do you understand?
Yes.
So right within that time, he sat and eventually started falling to the floor, making it difficult for him to receive the writ. And you know, when you are being served, you have to receive, you know, the writ before you get taken to another location or another court, which he did not do. But it's just interesting how things suddenly shifted from walking, you know, from walking in the city court, from walking from the city court, and eventually walking outside, and then switching again to being very helpless and looking very weary, you know, and falling to the floor and all of that.
Some might say it was a tactic or something, but we can tell.
No, we can't verify that. We can claim also that it was a tactic, though it appeared to be so, because if I'm giving you a letter that you should receive and you have your 2 hands in your jacket pocket, that it's obviously a refusal to receive what I'm handing to you. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that could be another way to say it. But also on the other hand, you cannot justify whether on the first time he was arrested, he was tortured as he claimed, or as his lawyers claim. So we're still here.
Yes.
We cannot verify or tell whether he will be released today. And like I said, it's obvious. We can only determine whether he will be released based on what information we will have from within AMI. Though we do not have a spokesperson from AMI, the hospital, to tell us whether he will be diagnosed of internal bleeding, as his lawyers are claiming that he was tortured, because this could be signs of you being tortured, internal bleeding, based on what kind of tactics was used on you for torture. But we cannot verify that also. So yes, definitely. So So I'm telling the audience that we have not gotten any information from AMI to determine whether he has been diagnosed of being ill as a claim or not. So even if we will do that, even if we will stay here for long, it will be determined on whether the hospital have established that he is not ill and he can be released. So we cannot determine whether we will leave from here today or not. So once the hospital can establish that he is not ill, it's obvious. Yes, I'm just doing the same analysis. Okay. The audience can also hear that. Once the hospital claims he is not ill and it's proven, he can be released and then be given to the police and back to the court. But if it's established that he is truly ill, then it means he will have to stay and take treatment. Or if that treatment does not require him staying here at the hospital, then the hospital will also release him to whoever can take custody of him, though he's in the custody of the police.
All right, that's good.
So we can stick around for some time and do some analysis.
And then we'll leave. We don't have to wait for...
Yes, sir.
I'll let you know.
Okay. So folks, there you have it. I was trying to brief my boss because it's obvious we can be here and showing the camera and not talking to anyone, but it's a need for us to establish whether he is ill or not. And once they can establish that and tell us that the suspect is ill and then he will need treatment, then it means he will stay here at the hospital. But for what we've been told, the police will stay here for as long as they can until they can be given orders to leave. Moreover, they are also providing security for someone who is a suspect in a case involving a very, delicate situation. Speaking of the fire incident at the Capitol, though there are political insinuations, that this particular fire incident at the Capitol is attached to the political impasse that is taking place at the Capitol. We cannot independently verify that also, but even if that might have happened, the police is trying to investigate to find out if there are individuals linked with this. And one of them is this suspect that is in police custody today. You remember the other time the police had a press conference and the police IG made it clear that the incident that took place at the Capitol was as a result of an arson attack. So that means someone might have taken flammable substance to the Capitol to set the rotunda ablaze. So we're still here bringing you live coverage from the MI hospital where the suspect was brought after falling to the floor at the criminal court, the city court, around the city court area. So
Capitol Building Burning Saga. I didn't know whether it was Irish. It was good because nobody does journalism without passion. We get passion for journalism. Tio.
So folks are still here on Fresh Street here in Cinco. Thomas Idrich is being treated as a suspect in the case involving the fire incident at the Capitol. And Thomas Idrich was taken to court today for the first time since he was arrested. And his lawyers requested for him to seek medical attention, which I guess he was on the way to do, but another arrest warrant was issued, and he supposed to have been served but refused or could not receive the writ, and he eventually fell to the floor when he was brought here at the Capitol. So
it doesn't matter we are going to look at you. I'm just telling you a simple idea. That you would have awarded this if you are asking him, I'm going to give him. That's what I'm saying. That's your perfection. That's your perfection. You can't coach for me. I said something. What I said, oh my God, I said, the reasonable way to have knowledge is actually if I take you, I don't have to see you. And that's why that's what it's doing.
on Sunday again, we want to ask you if you want to go somewhere. I'm parents people in by. We are pray to God for kind of rescue.
Why do you not go back to the because you made a bad decision. What the court that's your point. Your point is sometimes you can't walk from trouble. You can avoid certain accidents. You can avoid certain. A car is safer than a car. You still know that. A car is safer than a car. That's the truth. Car, the people has 4 tires. That one has 2 tires. It's not safe. The car is not safer than a car. And then we have to it's true that you did die, but if I were you, I wouldn't do anything. If I were you, I would never get up on bike doing that. Ask my battery there if it has space. That's not easy.
So folks, we are still here. If you're still watching with us, you can stick and stay with us. We just want to stick around and show you. Well, we're not getting any details or any information from within the hospital. There isn't anyone who is also willing to speak to us. We talked to a few people to bring you up to speed, but I mean, you heard it from our colleague Fabi. She did the analysis. She's assigned at the court, so she did all the analysis and said it involved this suspect, Thomas.
But I was there. So will I go for our children? What do you have to do?
Yeah, of course, sir. Sorry, eh? Sorry.
If I go go to the summary. Go to the summary. Go to the summary.
Thank you, yeah.
You want to? Alright, they say you should take something from independent big and go to your own. Go to your own. Thank you. So folks, that's it. We will now leave this location. We'd like to say thanks for watching wherever you watched us from. As you can see, we brought you a little brief coverage. Just today we were at the
My door is open, Bravo. My door is open. She's doing closing. That is doing the closing to the door.
Should we do it now?
Yeah, that's why I said already do it. But she got a dress Oh, hospital.
You ready or you want to come?
Okay, so folks, my name is Masiami Kwani and I'm here with my colleague Yasa Subari, Anthony Williams and Fabian Claire. We've been here since 2:30 this afternoon following the situation that occurred up Capitol Hill. So since today we've been following the suspect like allegedly
Of course.
Close it up. Anthony, close it up.
Go ahead.
the suspect.
Anthony, close it up. Yeah, Anthony, you do the close it up. Anthony,
We've been following.
Anthony, do two.
You have a long outro, chief. Then I can switch.
Yeah.
She already in flight. Oh, yep. Yeah. So that's it. You are listening to my colleague Masami. Well, the boss says we should just end the video and leave. So thanks for watching. For this, are you watching? Deputy LBS, Deputy Director General for New Media and Rebranding, Mr. Tiflo Flomo, is the one heading this team. So under his instruction, we will end this video now from the AMI hospital where the suspect has been brought to seek medical attention. Wherever you watch them, that is it. Thanks for watching.